Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Mike with Ground Zero. If you're tuning in, thank you. This video is for agents, and what I want to do in this video is I want to just give some advice, what I think that might be beneficial for real estate agents on helping them to not only get more listings, but once they get a listing appointment, to higher the chances of them being the person that gets hired. Obviously, we know that when people are going to be interviewing an agent, they're most likely going to be interviewing a couple of agents just to get a feel for to see which one is the best fit for them. So in this video, I really want to talk about how you can make yourself stand out as the agent that just it stands out, that you're the obvious choice that these people want to work with, so you can beat out your competition consistently. So I want to start, like, one thing that we know about people today is that people have access to information, and they know that. I think this is like a reason of why some agents might be experiencing that they don't get a ton of referrals anymore. Like, referrals is still an important part of business, but I think that more people, instead of asking their friend or fellow colleague about, like, hey, who's a local real estate agent that I could use, I think a lot more people are going to online resources where they could do their own research and come across people, going to Google and typing in local real estate agent in Y area, local agent in this area. They can find a huge list of people that'll show up on just Google My Business or Zillow or something, and then they can start kind of, going through and doing their own information and investigation work about these different types of agents, and come to conclusions and draw opinions of which ones they think that they would be a good fit for them and which ones that they want to work with. So people have access to information, and they're using it to figure out who they want to work with. So already, like, you can start to paint the picture of why it's important to, be online, where people are really starting the information and research process of who they're going to work with, why they're going to work with them, starting to answer these questions, who the local agents are, and things like that. So it's really important. A quick stat that I want to share with you, I'm sorry that this is shaky, 67% of people already know the agent that they're going to work with before they ever interview any agents. So, like, think about the process. If you're a seller or you're a buyer, when you're first kind of coming to terms, like, hey, I'm thinking about maybe in a couple months of buying or selling, you don't really know who the agent is that you're going to work with. So maybe the first things that you start to do is you go to Google, you go to YouTube, and you maybe watch some videos, or you're reading some articles about, like, the first steps that you should do on when you're selling, to get ready for these types of things. Then you might start looking at, like, local agents in my area on this, and you start to see a list, and then you start to get a list. You go to people's websites, you get a feel, oh, this person really isn't for me right from the get-go, I could tell, or this person is, and you start putting people in these buckets. And then you start doing some further information. You go to their social pages, you see what they're posting about, their family life, all these different things, and you can kind of see how people are really getting to know an agent before they even show up to their door. So how are people already 67% of people already say they know the agent that they're going to work with before they ever walk through the door? And this is because when people are doing their research, they're coming to a conclusion, like, this is the person that I want to work with, based off the content and context of what they're seeing about this person online. So you can see, let's break it into two cases. You have agent A and you have agent B. Both person goes in on Google or Google My Business or whatever and searches and finds both these local agents. He goes to person of agent A. He goes to this person's website. They have a beautiful website that explains, the areas that they serve, some of their expertise, their value. Maybe it has some videos on there, client testimonials, their home buying process or selling process, and things like that. Then you go to client B. They got a website, but it's not very well thought out. It just kind of says some basic things, and has a call now button. So already in a prospect's mind, who are you choosing? Okay, let's just keep that in thought. Now, as you continue to move forward, this person who's kind of doing this research on these two agents now goes to agent A's social profiles, and they got tons of content. They're seeing videos and stories each day about this person at this listing, or doing this home market update, or a seller advice tip, or buying tips, or they have client testimonials. They have so much content that's just always giving value, showing people how much they care, showing them how much that they're involved within the community, how much they love to help people. And then they go to client B's social profiles. He doesn't really have any content. He has a couple posts of for sales that he's recently done or something like that, but it's nothing, you know, that makes them stand out and really helps to paint the picture of who they are as a person, how they help the clients that they work with, and things like that. So now, next step is, if you're that person, who are you going to be choosing between A and B? Like, already in your mind, who is it that you're determining that you're going to work with? Oh, this person, client A, has a beautiful website that, you know, really speaks to you and shows you that they care. You go to their social pages and it just jumps off the charts. In your mind, you're like, man, this is a great agent. Versus agent B, you're probably going to want to start working with agent A. So this is why it's important as an agent that you need to have content, and you need to have you know, valuable information that is going to build value in the end of the consumer that is doing the research and the searching about you. You know, I come across a lot of agents who don't see the value in creating videos and getting behind and creating content. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, the agents who go all in on that are the agents who I see that are continually increasing the amount of homes that they sell month after month after month. So let's get right into it. I want to just give you some quick tips that you could use from start to finish in the whole like buying or selling process of how you can, you know, first come up on the search when someone is searching for you, and then also how you can ascend the relationship so that when people do ultimately make the decision of, you know, wanting to interview an agent, that you get the opportunity to come up to that listing appointment and, you know, tell that person, that couple, whoever it is, about why you deserve that listing. So first things first, what I think is something that is hugely undervalued right now is Google My Business. Like, we know that Google has billions and billions of searches that are being done on it every single day. Like, people in your local area are every single day going onto Google, typing in local real estate agent near me, or local realtor, or real estate agents near me. They're typing in these things because they're thinking about buying or they're thinking about selling. So right off is you should be trying to get this low-hanging fruit. And a lot of agents are missing out on this. Some are doing Google ads, which is obviously it's going to make them show up, but something that you could do that's free, that's organic to start showing up on the search is Google My Business. Go to googlemybusiness.com and register your business. Type it in or insert all the information. Google will send you like a phone verification or a letter in the mail where you can verify your business, but you need to do this. This is like when people go on Google My Business and those little searches come up on the right hand side where it'll have people's names and their address and all those different things, or even just showing up in the organic. This is what it'll do. It'll prompt you on how to set that up and do the things to further on that. But that's something that takes less than 5 to 10 minutes to do. That'll get you organically starting to show up in the search. You need to own the search. So Google My Business is a great first starting step that I think that you should be doing instantly. The second thing that I think that you should be doing is creating content. Kind of sort of like this, where you're just going on and you're just trying to give value to people who are in your niche market. So if there's this particular psychograph of type of person that you tend to work with, if you tend to work with more buyers and sellers, or sellers and buyers, or people within a specific type of neighborhood, you should always constantly be thinking about, how can I give these people more value? What do these people need to know? What problems are these people facing? And what are the solutions that I can help present them with that are going to help them avoid these problems? Also, how can you show them that you're involved in the community, that you care, you know, and things further. I think what makes it, just is a little off track, but one of the things that I think makes people choose one realtor over another is just their likability to that person. You know, they have things in common in, you know, personality traits, their family traits, their hobbies, and things like that. There's a lot of great agents that all know a lot about the market and can all do a fantastic job with a listing or helping a client to buy a home. why don't they all get choose? And it's just, I think sometimes it just comes down to personality. So I think one thing that you could do is include some personality within your content as well too, because that's going to draw the people that are already naturally going to be drawn to you when they meet you. Now you're just giving yourself the upper leverage by, now they can get drawn to your personality from like a digital personification. They can come into, you're building these parasocial relationships where people really start to cling to you because they just like your energy and like you for you, and they want to pay attention to you. So I would create content that you post on all your social pages. So when people are going to Google and stuff like that, and they start to take the next step, which is go to your social pages and see them on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and places like this, you have stuff there for them to consume and give and get information. So it could be tips about buying, selling, your personal life, things like that, like whatever we just consumed or just talked about. I would be doing things like this. I would also be running little distribution ads. You got to pay on these platforms. I would set budgets of maybe $5 to $10 a day that you always have running on YouTube and Facebook of just boosting content. So you're constantly reaching a new audience of people who aren't familiar with your brand in the area. So that's the second thing I would do. The third thing is I would have dynamic retargeting audiences. So what retargeting is have you ever seen maybe a video or you clicked an ad and went to someone's website or something like that, and then all of a sudden the next couple of, it seems days or weeks or until you make a purchase or make a decision, that these people are showing up everywhere on online. They're showing up on YouTube ads, Facebook ads, this ad, when you search Google, it seems like they're everywhere, they're omnipresent. So this is dynamic retargeting. So you need to have retargeting up for when people are watching your videos, that they're being retargeted. So if someone goes to your Google My Business and they watch some of your content and they're watching videos from YouTube to Facebook and all these things, you need to have it set up so where now when people stop watching those videos, but they're still going on these social platforms, that you're running ads that continue to show you, because you really at this point, when people are doing information, you want to drive it to them like you are the dominant, obvious, authoritative figure that you need to work with. Like you're the obvious choice. You show up, you give value, you're showing up everywhere. You just start to place yourselves in their mind as like, this guy must be really good at what he does and we need to call him. You can retarget people based on actions that they take. So not only can you retarget people if someone's on any of your social pages and they watch a video, you could retarget them if they watched minimum of 3 seconds of your video. You can not only just retarget people based on that, but you can also retarget people based on actions that they're taking. If people are leaving the ad and going to your website, or if people are scheduling something, or if they're giving you their information, you can retarget with different types of ads that keep the relationship moving in the direction that it needs to be. And then you can also, which I think is the biggest thing, is retarget your database. What you can do is you can upload a custom list. If you have your whole database and you have all their emails, you can upload that email list into Facebook and YouTube. I would advise spending $100 to $150 a month just running content to your database, just so you're staying top of mind. Because I think what happens a lot of times is people will lose an opportunity to win a listing or just win the appointment is because you had someone that was interested, but they weren't yet ready to make a decision. They still had maybe about 5 to 6 to 7 months out, but they're in your database, but you didn't have any touch points with them. You didn't stay in front of them. So when it was time for them to actually make that decision, you weren't top of mind anymore. There was another agent who was top of mind in the moment, or, just got in at right place, right time and stuff like that, and you lose the listing. So I think this is a great way just to continually stay top of mind and stay in front of people that are in your database, is using retargeting ads. So that's something that you could do. And then building off that, the fourth thing is weekly touch points with your database. I think that this is like something that agents are really dropping the ball on. And when I say touch points, it's not just call and ask them, hey, are you ready to schedule that, consultation or that meeting and stuff like that. Like, I think that you need to have touch points that are value-based, value-driven touch points. And that's where I think it comes from your content. So when you're creating awesome, amazing content on a consistent basis and you're consistently giving value and saying things that the people you want to work with and need to work with and want to work with you need to hear, you're creating videos on that, and all you have to do is email those videos to your database just once a week, twice a week at the most. And it's because, for the same reason, there's people in your database that are waiting to make a decision, they're waiting for events to happen in their life, but you won't get that deal because you lose communication with them when someone else maintains communication with them. Then when it comes time to make the decision, they don't call you because you haven't stayed top of mind, you haven't stayed in front of the customer. So this is just one thing that you should be doing automatically. You have that customer database, you should be using a CRM, and your CRM should have email compatibility. So once a week you can shoot a video kind of like this and then email it out to your database. Even if they watch it or not, the important thing here is staying top of mind, showing them that you care and that you want to deliver value. So that's what I think that you could be doing to start not only increasing the amount of people that are going to be coming across your brand, but also how to get more listing appointments, and then higher your chances of, once you get the listing appointment, of how you actually become the chosen one, the chosen realtor. And it's utilize the digital space that we're in. People are trusting their own research to go online and come to conclusions based upon who they want to work with, based upon what they're seeing online. So instead of complaining and saying video's not what I want to do, or this isn't what I want to do, you kind of just need to adapt with times. You know, if you really think that as a realtor that clients deserve to work with you because you do an excellent job at what you do, providing just an elevated experience, you need to get on video and you need to be online so more clients can find you because they deserve to work with you. And if you're scared to get on video, you know, they're going to meet you eventually at some point, and they're going to hear what you sound like, and they're going to see what you look like. So don't be scared, get on video, just do it the way that feels natural to you. Don't try to dance and do all those things if that's not what you want to do. Get on and present the way that seems natural to you and authentic to who you are as a person. If that's the dancing and doing all that stuff in those videos, all power to you. And if it's not, then find the way that you like to present that complements who you are as a person, and just take action and do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you got some value from that.